Hello everyone, it's Prince again, back with the second episode of our guide to dailies for epic leveling. This time it's all about Vaughn 4, very similar to last episode. Vaughn stands for Vault of Night. What is the fourth quest in the Vault of Night adventure pack? It is Haywire Foundry. So, you join a group, they tell you they're running Vaughn 4, that's what they mean. All of the Vault of Night quests take place in House Kundarak, so we're going to start going there. One immediate difference between this quest and the last one is that whereas Vaughn 3, the quest giver, Clips over there, was also the quest entrance, this time the two are pretty far away. So I'm turning right from the guild ship exit all the way back here where you'll find RLC 4. That gets us the Haywire Foundry quest. So you can either, if you join a group that's already there, you can either go run and get the quest, or you can do what I usually do and just red door the quest, which means run it while not actually having it. If you have already run it, and you're already flagged for the raid, then it doesn't really matter. It's not like the reward is all that important. Here is the entrance. It's a few steps down from the tavern. Let's get started. A few interesting things to note about this one. This is not that great XP per minute if you are soloing it, unlike Vaughn 3, Jungle of Kyber, where you can mostly get through it pretty quickly if you're a nuker or something, just by yourself, and it's still pretty good XP per minute. This one requires a little bit of splitting up, and if you have to do both sides, you're not getting it done very quickly. Another thing is the XP per minute goes down considerably if you don't have a trapper. Still good, just not a top tier XP per minute. So this part's really straightforward. We just want to get through that gate. We pull the lever to open this gate, and it'll close itself in a few seconds. So if you are parked at the entrance and you're following the group, see that this will have closed on you, so you'll have to run back over to where I pulled that lever. No big deal. This is the part where you really get stuck. So if you're leading the group, if you're ahead, you talk to this guy, he opens the door, no problem. But if you fall behind and you get here later, that lever, see how it closed this door and opened this one? Well, when I pull it again, it's going to open this one and close this one. It's going to be the opposite. That means anyone coming up behind will be locked here. There's no way to open this gate. The Dwarfarch had to do it for us when we were here first. So if you show up late, someone's going to have to come, run, and open this gate for you. Again, not that gate. One gets opened by the lever through the lava, but this one right here. It's going to be locked once we go through here. See that? There's a way around it if you have a pet, but only really for one person. So this Warforged is immediately going to turn. I think if you get past him, if you get through him fast enough, whoops, then he won't aggro on you. But if you do kill him, that's an optional experience. See, I just got 3k from it. Anyway, if you have a pet, like let's say a wolf pet or an iron defender or a pale master skeleton, you can summon them, have them pull the lever while you're standing over here, and it's going to close this gate, but not lock you up because you're already over here, and it's going to open that one. And then you can just dismiss them, and the way will be open. But that only works for one person, because as soon as that person goes through the gate, they're going to do this thing, and then that gate's going to be closed. So if there are two people coming up late, like someone joins the party late, or they were just AFK at the start, yeah, it's really only going to work for one of them. Not too important, but just keep an eye on whether someone's stuck at the entrance or not, and then come back and grab them. Okay, here's the split up point. There are going to be some Warforged back here, so let me wipe them out. Oh no, never mind, I already aggroed them. You have to talk to this little head, and it's going to open both ways. Yep, barriers are down. So let me open the map here. There's a west side and an east side, and the way we want to go is actually north. But we need to pull a lever that way and a lever that way. If you are the trapper, you're probably going to want to go both ways. I'm going to have to show both ways anyway. So we're going to start with, we come from this side, right? We're going to start with the left side, which would be west. And I will leave a little timestamp in the description to get back to that moment so you can see how it's done on the right side and compare those two. There are going to be a bunch of blade traps of this tower. We're going to want to start disabling those. I'm making some saves because they're trying to chop me up here. Again, they shouldn't hit you that hard if you're not on Reaper. Which we're not because we're running these as dailies for speed. So I'm sensing some danger, but it's not on that wall. It's going to be over here. Again, if you don't remember, you can just run up and keep searching. Hopefully your search DCs are high enough to spot them. I think the last one was here. I don't remember, so I'm just checking. It wasn't here, it was at the top. There are actually two at the top. However, the second one doesn't spawn until after you've pulled the big lever. And I'll come back and show you once that happens. Beat down this door. Okay, so the lever right here, opens up this little path in the middle, and it serves to connect both the west and the east path. Really helpful. There's a lot of breakables in there. If you're going for ransack, it's kind of a must. But you can't actually bridge between them until this lever is pulled and that lever on the other side is pulled. So we have access to the center, but we don't have access to that side because no one's pulled the lever over there. Really nice to split up in this one, to have someone run to all the objectives and the levers while the other person gets all the breakables, opens the gates and stuff like that. Because, yeah, I'm getting a lot of breakables here, but I'm not actually advancing the quest. That's time taking out of the completion. That's why it's really nice to have a really big party in this one. Two more breakables over here. We're going to go for the ransack bonus to see where all of the breakables are. And there's another big cluster over here. A collectible. Now the deal with this side is once you pull the lever that serves to unlock the north wing, all of these barriers are going to go down. So that's a lot of new enemies that we're going to have to fight on the way back. These Warforged are really annoying if you have low will saves because they're going to force you to dance with those spheres. So just keep following this path along the inside of the gates. We'll eventually run into a dead end where we have the lever. Now here, there's a strategy that you can employ that usually isn't worth it. And that is, since we have to run back, and we want to go all the way back to the middle, basically, wouldn't it be perfect if we could just dimension door back? Easy, it's a shortcut. Two problems with that. First one is the dimension door doesn't really work in here. I don't know where I just threw that dimension door. But more importantly, if you remember the gate mechanics at the start, you won't actually be able to get back in. So right now, if I took a dimension door and put myself back at the start of the quest, I would be locked out. There's no one to open that gate for me on the inside. So that's a trap that most of us have fallen for before, thinking, oh, I can just get back to where I need to with a dimension door. Not quite in this one. We have to do things the hard way, unfortunately. You can zerg past all of these guys, but it's a good way to get a red dungeon alert. And you're also going to have to deal with people running up behind you for the entire rest of the quest, and it's just annoying. They don't just all pile up at once. Oh, behind the staircase is the other pathway to that same room we were in. It's open because we already used the lever back there. Some of them pop out of the boxes like that without us doing anything. Alright, and then that was it. Oh, let me show you that trap that I said only became active after you pull the lever. Here it is. Our first search didn't find it because it wasn't active. Now it is. Now we've got 4 traps. Ta-da! Now we're gonna head back to the start. If you remember, we came from this way, and this was the original fork in the road. We went this way, and now that's done. You can see our quest objectives. Unlock the north wing. There's only one left. We have the lever on this side now. Breakables. Alright, it's the first floor that breaks in this side. It's the least annoying of the two by far, but also there's a trap here that we can disable. And I believe it disables the breaking floor, so let me break it first, just so you can see what that looks like. If you don't know, you're running here, you don't expect it, and boom, it breaks on you. This one has a floor at the bottom that you can just jump back out of. The next one is a little trickier. So like I said, I think if you disable it first, the floor doesn't break. But also, if someone just runs past and is just trying to get things done as quickly as possible, you can still disable the trap, no problem. No harm done. I'm gonna take down some more forest here. Same old stuff. Alright, now this one, if the floor breaks and you can't hold on to anything in the wall, you're gonna fall a very, very long way. So we kind of want to aim around here so that we're walking somewhere on a pipe, so that when the floor breaks, we don't fall. Hopefully you guys saw, kind of have a good idea of where that was. If it does break and you fall, you're going to want to try and hold on to some of these things and find the way to slowly spiral your way back up. Oh my lord. Would help to just have Featherfall constantly on. It's not my intention to fully demonstrate this. Where in the world am I? Good lord. This is why it's important not to fall, kids. You can get back up, but as you can see, it's taking me forever to figure this out. Okay, I think it's back in the main room. Jump, jump, jump. Should be just in a big spiral. Ta-da! The valve was on our left side, so if you get turned around here, remember, when the floor broke, we were walking on the left side, right? So that means if it's on our right, then we're on the correct side of where we were going. Alright, that was the last breaking floor, thank goodness. I might just edit that part out. But on the other hand, it's kind of useful to know how to get out of it, in case you do fall all the way down. Alright, break down this door, and now we are in the room that is parallel to the one with all the Warforged in the boxes in the other one. We just need to pull this lever and open up these gates. And if you came over to this side first and no one has pulled it over there, that side won't be open. You see, this is the same room where we got all the breakables in the four corners. It has the shrines and everything. So, neat little red name boss here. Does he give XP upon dying? Yes, he does. Around 5k. I'll take it. we want to go up here. Oh, and there's a trap here. There are spike traps. Look. Ta-da. The way to disable them is actually behind the ramp. So we're under the ramp. We are going to search right here. Disable this real quick. Now we have tamper bonus. We have our 6 traps. If you have range damage or magic, you could have sniped that guy from down there, but I don't. Oop. We have to do a lot of jumping for this one. So remember, I went up the ramp, and I'm trying to get up on those boxes directly above the ramp. I don't keep going that way into the flames. No need. Just on these boxes. And then we turn around, and then we go in the same direction, just above. Drop down right here. Kill this guy. And now the ramp will take us to the lever. We just go straight from here. Whoop-ow. A really nasty trap here if you're on Reaper mode. We're not. So it's not really going to get us. There's the control panel, and there's another sneaky one hiding up back here. I want to be careful not to fall. Otherwise, you'll have to climb up here again. And just so that you guys see, if you don't know what the trap looks like, I'm going to pull the lever and then disable it second. Boom. That is nasty. I made a bunch of saves, though, because the difficulty is not that high, and I'm also a pretty high level. So that was the second lever. As you can see now, find a way to unlock the northern pathway. The requirement's gone now. Now it says find a way into the master control room. I'm heading back into the other direction because I find it easier to, instead of walk back through the place where the floor broke, I go here and then just drop down this little corner. But either way you choose to go back, it works. We just want to get back to the center, right? Same one with the talking head where we drop the barrier, except now the north side is active. That was the whole point of all that. Again, it took forever because I'm here by myself. If I had at least one more person, we could have done one side each. You're the trapper. Maybe you just let people get the levers, but you run to both sides and get as many breakables as you can along with the traps. Because this is one of the quests where you can get the ingenious debilitation bonus every time. Oh, here there's another fork in the road, by the way. It doesn't matter which way you go. They will both get you to the other side. And there are Warforged mobs on the way to either one. Cool. You kind of see on the map there how it's just one big square. It ends up here. And there's a hidden door that leads to the shrines. You see it popping up. My acute senses are noticing it. There's a lot of breakables in the four corners of this little room, too. We actually already have ingenious debilitation because we were very vigilant and got all of the traps from before. If you don't, no worries, there are 2 traps right here. There they are. Kind of like the double force traps in Vaughn 3 that we did in the last episode, where they're on either side. The traps are right here. But I'm not going to bother disarming them because we already have ingenious debilitation. You saw where they were. So if you don't have the 30% trap bonus yet, go ahead and disable those. Oh, this part's pretty tricky. Usually at least one person knows how to do it in the group. And it's good to just have one person work on this. Otherwise, we run into a situation where people are trying to do different things and just getting in the way. All right, look inside. We want to get to that chest. We want to open these gates. You can see the symbol. That symbol is what we want to turn these wheels into. No matter which angle you look at it from, it's the same symbol. I believe it's always the same symbol, actually. But look over here. We got this purple rune wheel. I can't turn it. It says purple rune wheel is locked. That is where these outer runes come into play. We need to put all 3 of these outer runes onto the symbol that's above each wheel respectively. And that's how you unlock the wheel. So it's a lot of work. I am going to equip... Oh, never mind, I don't have it. Okay, there are some oozes that pop up and they can break your weapons and be super annoying. Okay, so we got that little H symbol to unlock the yellow wheel. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Turn this one to H. This one to H. This one to H. So now the yellow wheel should be able to be moved because all of the outer wheels unlocked it. You guys remember the symbol that was in there? If you don't, we can always just double check. And that's the one that it's on. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and unlock a different one. The purple one needs the one with the little hook. So just 2 spins, 2 spins, 2 spins. Now this one should be unlocked. We set it to that weird symbol on the inside of the gate. Now we unlock this one, the one with the little alien hat thing. So again, just 2 spins for each of them. Well, a good thing to do when you're not doing these puzzles is to just take out these annoying oozes. They're just a pain. Alright, where was that blue rune? The last one we need. Ta-da! The oozes should disappear when you open that. But for some reason these didn't. I wonder if it's because they were just what came out of the original ooze. Anyway, gold key opens up this door. We're really close to the end of the quest. We have to dispatch these things right here. Big old constructs. Again, this is seeming really long, but remember that's because I did both parts that are supposed to be taken by one group each. It is often shorter than this. Here's the jeweled key that opens this, but there's also a secret door that opens here. So you might want to be ready for that. Get rid of these iron golems here. They're not red named, like the one that I killed over here, so they should be a little easier to deal with. The jeweled key opens this. We can pull the lever, and there's a little parkour obstacle course here. So I'm going to put on my propulsion boots to get feather falling and max jump. Jump on this thing, and this thing, this one, this here, and then we get to the broken stairs. You can either try and jump on this side, or another thing that works is to get on this little thing, jump here, and then climb up there. Whatever looks easier for you. Try not to fall. This part is timed, and if you don't make it to the end with the rest of the group, you'll be locked out and possibly killed. So do try and keep up. I am not under that kind of pressure because I don't have a group. Those traps are not disableable. But it doesn't matter because we should have hit enough traps by now to have already gotten our full trap bonus. And they don't hurt you too much. Floor breaks here, but it's easy enough just to jump on that little cross. See, I can mostly run through those with no problem. Again, on Reaper mode, a lot of these traps that I'm just casually running by would probably hurt quite a bit more. That's one of the reasons I like to run dailies on hard and normal, because I don't want to focus on avoiding things to not die. Just want to run till the end and complete this thing. So this is where the door will close, there'll be a big explosion, and if you're not here with the rest of the group, you might get caught up in that explosion. Even if you are here, you can still get caught up in the explosion, so we want to be out of that way. tucked into this little corner. If you have propulsion boots or jets, like some kind of wings from Favored Soul or Exalted Angel or Draconic Incarnation, you can actually propulse yourself over to that side. I don't want to try that for fear of not making it and then not being able to show you guys the quest completion. I'm just going to wait for the bridge. The bridge is down. We run across it. This door opens on its own. We do two things here. We talk to Haywire. We take the lightning rod. That ends the quest. Ta-da! Again, just like the last quest, easiest way to get out, or fastest way to go down, is take Dimension Door, turn around, boop, we're out. Now, if you're running this twice, the last thing I'll say is, instead of running all the way back to the quest giver that we went over at the beginning, what you can do in a group is just have one person abandon Haywire Foundry, and then another person share it. And that will give the quest to the person who just dropped it, and it will refresh it, so they can just go right back in. Alright, thanks for tuning in. That was Vaughn 4, Haywire Foundry.